Hello? Come in quietly, please. I guess you had better watch from that corner. That's Mrs. Pepper over there, trying to fix the electric toaster. And that's Mr. Pepper, working at the drawing board. The boy is Tim. He's studying some pre-flight manuals. And Helen there is trying to figure out her chemistry.
For heaven's sake, stop that racket. Mother, can't you make Trudy stop pounding on the piano?
She's only practicing her music lesson, dear. But hasn't she practiced long enough? She's gone over that same exercise at least 25 times and is still making the same mistake. It's getting on my nerves.
And on mine too. It's bad enough to have to pay for her music lessons without having to listen to her practice. Why can't she do that when I'm not at home?
But I always depend on you, dear, to make her stick with her practicing. I never did think Trudy was very musical. But just because you had a cousin who was a concert pianist, you always have been determined to give her piano lessons. Personally, I think she'd do better at elocution.
Electrocution would be more suitable, if you ask me.
You have no room to talk, Timothy, after what we've been through with your saxophone.
But at least I can play it. Besides, she's making it impossible for me to concentrate. I have you now. These pre-flight courses are no cinch.
Tim's right, Mother. If we're going to take these home study courses this winter, we'll have to have peace and quiet in the evenings. Trudy must find her another hour for her practice.
Very well, I'll call her. Trudy! Trudy! You may stop now.
But the hour isn't up. I have 15 minutes to go.
Can you beat it? Any other time she'd be dying to quit before the hour is up. It's alright, dear. Father says you may skip those last 15 minutes.
Whoopee! That's swell. Thanks a lot, Dad. Come on, Tim. Let's play some table tennis.
Nothing doing. I have to plug away at this engine material.
Okay, we'll play later. Come on, sis. Let's make some fudge.
Not tonight, Trudy. I have a long assignment in my chemistry course to keep me busy.
I never knew you were such a plugger. Well, Dad, it looks as if you and I are going to be partners. How about a game of Scrabble? Bet I can win over you.
Not tonight, Trudy. And don't lean on the table when I'm drawing.
I guess this is no place for me. Mother, will you show me how to sew on the flower patch on my jeans?
Some other time, dear. Not now. I'm too busy with this toaster.
What's the matter with it?
Oh, it's just an old one I found down in the cellar. It hasn't worked for years.
But there's nothing the matter with a good one. Why don't you use that?
We do! I'm just experimenting with this for my assignment in home repairing.
Phew! This is the busiest family I ever saw. Do you care if I go to the movies?
You went to the movies last night, Trudy. You know I don't like you to go on school nights. Why don't you go do your homework?
Yes, for mercy's sake. Get a book and settle yourself. It's time you were doing your lessons.
They're all done.
Ha! I like this story.
They are so. I had 3 study periods in school today and I finished everything.
3 study periods? That's the limit! We never had more than 1 week when I was in junior high school.
Oh, but that was years ago. Things are more modern now. Say, do you want to hear a good joke I heard today?
No, we don't want to hear any jokes. Can't you see we're all working? Clear out of here and keep quiet so we can think.
But, my goodness, I'm not doing anything because I don't have anything to do. Unless I play the radio.
Ah, heaven forbid, it's all we need. Can't you read a book? No, I owe a fine at the library and I can't get any more books till I pay it. And I can't pay it until I get my allowance and I won't get my allowance next week. So I can't get any more books till then.
My gosh, Mother, can't you make her get out of here? I've read this paragraph 3 times and I still don't know what it means.
All of you keep quiet. Trudy, I'll give you exactly 3 seconds to find yourself something to do or go to bed.
Oh, now James, don't be impatient. Listen, Trudy, you can see we're all busy tonight. Now be a good girl and go upstairs to your room.
But Mother, it's too cold up there. How about letting me go over to Louis Anderson's?
The Andersons are having company tonight. I met Mrs. Anderson in the market today. She's entertaining her bridge club.
Then that's out. I hope that's for me.
Well, if it is, make it snappy. Don't hang on the wire the rest of the evening.
Hello? Yes, this is Trudy Pepper. Who? Oh, it's you, Muscles. Yeah, no, I'm not doing a thing. What? Well, just a minute. I'll have to ask. Mother, it's Muscles Murray. He wants me to go to the movies with him. May I, Mother?
Forevermore! Don't tell me you're beginning to have dates at your age.
Oh, be quiet. Please, Mother, can't I go?
Of course not. I just finished telling you I don't like you to go to the movies on school nights. Besides, I don't know this Murray boy.
Oh, he's nice. Honest, he's well. Please, Mother, we'll be home early.
You heard what your mother said.
But Dad, please, if I don't go, he might never ask me again.
That would be a good thing. Now tell him you can't go and hang up. A man can't have a minute's peace in his own house.
Hello? I'm awful sorry, Muscles, but I can't go this evening. Yeah, me too. I am devastated. Maybe some other time? What? What's that? You want to come over? Well, wait a minute. I'll have to ask again. Mother, now he wants to come over here. Is it alright?
It certainly is not alright. I don't want any more people around this house tonight. Tell him no, he can't come.
Oh, Dad, he'll think we're terrible. He doesn't know very many people. He just moved here from Chicago.
Well, let him move back again. He can't come over tonight.
Oh, Mother, can't you make Dad understand? I just can't tell him you don't want him.
But you heard what your father said. Just tell him some other time. I can't. I simply can't. I'll just hang up on him. There. Maybe he'll think we are cut off. I told you I wouldn't come over. He's the nicest boy in our room. Nobody around this house even cares if I turn out to be an old maid. You're too busy improving your mind to care what becomes of me.
Good grief! Now she's bawling. You should have let her go to the movies.
You keep out of this, Tim. Trudy's too young to be running around with boys. It's only one boy and wouldn't be running around. We'd be right here at home and you didn't care about the movies. But I don't see why you wouldn't go over here. Now you'll never call me again. Never! I was never allowed to grow up with boys when I was her age.
Muscles! What a beautiful name. What is he? Champion prize fighter or something?
You keep quiet, Timothy Pepper. All you care about is airplanes, and you don't know as much as you think. Muscles knows twice as much now as you'll ever know about engines.
Pardon me. I thought his name was Muscles, not Brains.
Some people have both, and some people have neither.
Wipe your eyes, Trudy, and answer the door. I do hope we're not getting company.
Well, for goodness sakes, where did you come from?
Hi, Trudy. Something must be wrong with that phone of ours. I came over to find out if it's okay for me to spend the evening. We were cut off before you had the chance to tell me.
Well, my goodness, oh dear, well, I certainly wasn't expecting you. I guess you better go home.
What's the matter? Isn't all right? Of course. If you have company, I'll leave right off.
Oh, we don't exactly have company, but...
Tell whoever that is to come in or get out. And get that door shut. You're wasting the heat.
Gee, that's good news, Mr. Pepper. I'm sure glad to come inside. It's cold over at my house too. Every time my folks go out for the evening, they turn the oil burner down so low that I nearly freeze. I guess you never met me, did you? I'm Muscles Murray, your neighbor. I guess you're Trudy's dad.
That's who I am, alright. And I suppose you're the young man who called a few minutes ago.
Yeah, wasn't that the limit? Getting cut off before I could find out if it was alright to come over. But I'll just hop over there and find out. I'm sure I'm glad it's alright.
Well, I guess it's alright now that you're here, but...
Thanks, Mrs. Pepper. Thanks a lot. You're Mrs. Pepper, aren't you?
Sure, she's Mrs. Pepper. And this is my brother Timothy. And this is my sister Helen.
Glad to know you. By golly, this looks like a study hall, doesn't it, Trudy? I should have brought my homework. Only
It's all done, like Trudy's.
that's right. With all those study periods, we kids get a break for once.
What a break!
I'll say, it's swell. Nothing to do in the evenings but visit the neighbors. It's a great life.
I'm sorry we don't seem more hospitable, Muscles, but we're each taking a home study course this winter and we're taking our work pretty seriously. So we have to have things quiet for our study hour.
Sure, I understand that. What are you studying, Mrs. Pepper? You seem to be having an awful struggle with that toaster.
Yes, I'm afraid I don't have a mechanical mind. I'm taking a course in household repairs and this toaster is my assignment.
Maybe I could help you.
Well, you see, Here's the diagram in the manual, but I don't know if this wire here gets twisted around this thingamabob or whether it should tie up with this long dangling thing on the other end.
Well, I tell you, Mrs. Pepper, I think you have your wires crossed somewhere. Just switch these two around, you'll have the first-rate toaster here in no time.
For mercy's sake, is that all it needed? I can hardly wait to see if it works. Come along, Trudy, Muscles. We'll try it out in the kitchen.
Good night, Dad. Can't you get rid of the test?
The minute he sets foot in this room again, I'm going to send him home. For the past hour, I've been trying to get some sense out of this diagram, and I can't figure it out.
No doubt, Muscles. The metal giant could clear it up for you in nothing flat. Trudy seems to think he's Superman.
Maybe he was a chemist when he was a baby. I might ask him to help me.
Just for fun, I'll ask him a question or two about airplane engines and when he comes back.
Make it snappy, because he won't be here long.
You sure fixed that toaster in a hurry.
You certainly did. Now come along, Muscles, and
They tell me you're quite the boy with airplanes, Muscles. Know anything about engines?
Not very much. Are you taking a pre-flight course?
Yeah, and I am boning up on engines right now.
That ought to be interesting. I used to be keen on engines. What type of are you studying? Radial engines?
Radio?
Yes. The kind in which the cylinders are equally spaced around a single crack or crankshaft.
No, no. The question that I'm working on right now wants to know the advantages of the V or inverted type engine.
G. Let me see. Of course, one advantage of the V-type is that it improves the visibility for the pilot. And then, the V-type gives better streamlining, and at the same time, lowers the center of the gravity.
Yeah? Gosh, that sure ought to cover everything. Thanks, Muscles. Thanks a lot.
Maybe I could help you with some of those other questions.
Well, you sure do seem to understand airplanes. But I think I've got the other answers. Alright.
I told you he knew all about engines.
So you did, but you didn't tell us if he knows anything about chemistry.
That's what Helen's taking up. I think she's crazy, and besides, chemicals have such awful smells. I'd rather study tap dancing.
I'm a little rusty on chemistry, Miss Pepper, but I'll help you all I can.
I'm not very advanced. We're just working up on the molecular theory, and I get atoms and molecules all mixed up.
Gosh, I guess I can help you with that. Let's see. On this problem, we'll say one atom of carbon unites with two atoms of oxygen and forms one molecule of what? Miss Pepper?
I guess that would be one molecule of carbon dioxide?
That's right. And the equation for that would be carbon plus oxygen is equal to carbon dioxide.
Make it look so easy, Muscles. Thanks a lot.
My goodness, Muscles, you're turning out to be a big help to my family. Maybe you could even help Dad.
I hardly think so. Electronics is college stuff.
Electronics, eh? I guess you're right. I will not be much help in that department. Just what you're working on, Mr. Pepper? A diagram?
Yes, I'm studying the voltage distribution in a 2-electrode tube in a vacuum.
Pretty difficult, isn't it?
It's not easy.
Mind if I give it a try?
Think you could?
I don't know. I'm a little rusty on this sort of thing, but I'll see what I can do. Now let me see. I'll just draw a few lines here and there.
By Jiminy! I believe you got it.
how marvelous, Muscles!
Some kid, I'd say.
We should get you to be our instructor, Muscles.
Yes, sir, my boy. That does the trick.
Yes, I think you'll find that. Okay.
This is great. Here I've been struggling with that blasted thing all evening. Let me have another look at it. Well, that puts it all in fine shape. Thanks a million, my boy.
You're certainly welcome. That was fun. I haven't had a problem like that in a long time.
Holy smokes! How old are you?
14, my next birthday. Why?
Well, I must say, I never met anybody like you. How in the world do you know all this stuff?
Judy didn't tell us you were a child prodigy.
If she had, I'd cut her up in little pieces. I'm not a child prodigy.
Well, you must be someone special to work out my diagram and help with Tim's engines.
And straighten me out with chemistry.
To say nothing of my toaster.
Oh heck, I didn't want to tell anybody, but you folks have been so nice about letting me come over tonight. You see, I was Well, my real name is Myron Murray. Maybe you've heard of me or something.
Not Myron Murray, the boy wizard. Not the kid who won the national Ranger prizes on the science quiz programs.
I'm afraid that's me.
Well, what do you know?
Small wonder you know your way around in the electronics field.
Trudy, why didn't you tell us who was a celebrity?
I'm no celebrity in Trudy's eyes. She corrects my spelling papers in school and sees me as I really am.
I was about to ask you where you were attending junior high school.
Well, you see, science just comes to me easy. But gosh, what a struggle I have with spelling and in English. And I am not any too strong in social studies either. It's a struggle just to make the grade in some of those subjects.
Well, you helped me make the grade with my assignment. Now, I'll have time to go down to the library for a while.
Glad I could help you.
Well, Muscles, how about a game of table tennis?
All right, but you play with me at your own risk.
Not so fast, Trudy. I'd like to show Muscles that motor down the cellar. I've been tinkering around with it for 6 months, and it's not right yet. How about taking a look at it, Muscles?
Sure, look it over.
I'll go along. I'd like to ask Muscles a few questions about the kinetron tube and the klystron tube.
Well, how do you like that? Off he goes with Dad and Tim, leaving me high and dry. Awful the nerve.
Aren't you pleased that Muscles was such a success with the family?
I didn't want him to be this much of a success. My goodness, I want him to pay some attention to me. I'm going down in that cellar and drag him back. After all, he came to see me.
Oh no, Trudy, that will be a big mistake. I can see you need to take a home study course in how to influence your boyfriends.
You mean I shouldn't go after him?
Certainly not. They'll be coming back after a while, and in the meantime, you and I can stir up a batch of peanut delights. Never forget, my child, that no matter how scientific he might be, the road to a man's heart is still...
Sure, I know. It's still through his stomach. Well, come on, Mother, you lead the way. I'll follow.